What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Aquascape tutorial. So you can see I am in front of the shrimp rack. Yes, that's right, it's time for another Nano cube build. Currently I've only actually scaped 2 of the tanks behind me and there are 12 there. I mean, the bottom 4, they're just going to be for sort of storage of random things, but the top 8 I want fully scaped at some point. And today I'm going to be working on this one. I'm going to have to put it right out so I can obviously drain it and get everything out and start right again from scratch. I think then I'll pull it out and do it on a platform in front of us. It's going to be easy to work with and it will look better on camera for you guys. And it currently has in it a load of black crystals, so I'll be able to take them out. I'll put them in a bowl temporarily with the same water and then we can put them back in at the end. Actually, I'm not sure if I put those in or the yellows that I've got in here, because there's lots more of these and I want to get more of it. I don't know yet. At the end, you'll know by what I put in. But that's not as important as just getting all the water out and all of the pearl weed and everything and starting fresh. So here's what I'm thinking. The top row there, look, is quite green. Very green, in fact. So let's get some really punchy reds and different colours. Well, reds and green, mainly. That's the main colours we've got to choose from. Got some slight hues of pink and yellowy, more yellowy orange stems as well. But for this, we're going to need a good substrate layer. So first of all, we need to put in a base that's like more nutrient rich. And then on top of that, I've got a new substrate that I've only used once before, very recently. Come here. So outside this door, my planted tank. So this is like the plant storage area. None of these have got livestock in. Well, there's some shrimp in them, but that's it. So this is the substrate I'm talking about, this really cool brown looking one. I want to try this in the new scape as well. I think it looks really good. It complements, you know, the colours really good as well. It goes well with a black background and the green, you know, and we're going to have red in there as well. It's going to look so good. Okay, really nice little start. Now that's as flat in the foreground as it needs to be. We don't need to spend ages getting it perfect. Now here's the slope so far. Not very much, but that's deliberate. So what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do is place my stones that I'm going to act as a border between the front and the rear, and then that'll allow us to bank up even more of this nutrient rich stuff in the background to about here, and that'll allow us then to plant our stem plants so that they're already above all the foreground and everything, so it'll look great straight away. This is grey mountain rock or mountain stone, and you can see it kind of looks like elephant skin. I think that's going to work really well with the browns in the aqua soil. And yeah, just going to make a little sort of wall out of it. I'm going to adjust it as I go along because I'm not sure if I want to put the wood on top or in amongst. I'm not even sure yet. We'll just work that out as we go along. As I always say, don't overthink, don't overplan, just get started. You can work out the finer details as we go along. Click subscribe. Okay, right, I like that. The rock work looks really good. The wood doesn't look really good, but that's okay. The wood is literally just there to act as a framework for me to be able to put in some Java mosses, some Java ferns, different epiphyte plants that can basically stick to it and all the way up it and just create a really good bushy area right in that foreground, just off center look. So this is going to be the main focal point right in this area here, and that's why I've left that sort of gap, and that's where the the sticks come up. I didn't plan this, it just, as I was doing it, I was thinking, okay, that can go there, and then I can put that plant there, you know, that's how I like to scape. I just find it more fun that way. So yeah, next job would be to stick down that wood, and then we can put in more of the, oh, I just tripped up. More of this nutrient rich. It's got aqua soil and sand. We're going to just pile this up a lot higher, more like to sort of this level here. That's not going to work. You know what I mean? You'll see. So it has now been a good few hours and the glue is set enough to hold it in place. Watch this, like if I tap it, it's not going anywhere. It takes like way longer than a few hours for the glue to fully set. You can see in the middle there, it's still clear. When it goes sort of opaque or misted, that's when it's fully cured and properly hard. But it's fine as it is at the moment to be able to enable us to, you know, go on to the next stage, which is filling in this back area a lot more. Right, that's all set up and ready to start planting. Now, we want to go for some really punchy colours, remember. Like I say, up here, we've got 2 tanks already. Oh, you're probably wondering, why is this one so sort of green and all that algae on the side? The shrimp in there are breeding really well. So yeah, we got a ton of blue dream shrimp. They look kind of dark, but that's just because the floating plants. Oh, there's a clear one. And there's a bit of a mix. Hang on, there's a red one there. Okay, so they've been breeding and there's sort of cross breeds that are coming out. That's really good to see, to be honest. I'm not picky. I don't mind what colours we get as long as we get really nice shrimp. So that's awesome. And you might be wondering where I'm keeping the black crystal shrimp that were in that one there. Well, they're down here. So I've got the filter that was in their tank and these guys are just floating around everywhere. And they'll be fine. They'll be able to go back in soon. Like I said, we've got a filter that's already established and I'll be adding beneficial bacteria. I find that these shrimp aren't quite as sensitive as everyone thinks they are, at least in my water. Maybe it's different if you're going for bigger parameter swings, but my water doesn't seem to cause too much problems. But anyway, let's get planting. First of all, this area, that's the area we want to focus on first, and then we can build out from there. Or plant out from there. So we can now get some plants from the grow out section. That's right next to us here. So I've got some really awesome Java ferns in my Java fern and Anubias tank. Loads of them are floating because I put them in there the other day. I managed to find them on another scape. I had to thin it down because they were getting too big, but that's perfect. We can reuse it. They're really healthy, looking good. So I'm going to grab those ones right there and probably that one at the back. I've actually got a few more down here as well because there was space. So yeah, lots to choose from Java fern wise. We don't want to go too big though. So I'm really happy with how that's turning out so far, but I would like to see some more of the Nubius petite in the foreground, right there. But the problem is, if I just stick it to that rock, it'll look silly, it won't be like pointing upwards or towards the light, which is how plants obviously grow, and it'll look more natural if we can get it to do that. So what I'm going to do is put it on a pebble, and then put the pebble into the soil. So for instance, I've got this one here. I can just put the Anubias on the top, and then I can push it in so that you can't see the pebble, and it's just the Anubias sticking out the top of the soil. There we go, looking really good. And don't forget to mist down your plants regularly. I mean, Java ferns and Anubias are pretty tough. They don't dry up very quick at all. But still, just remember to spray every 10 minutes or so. Right, here's what I want to do. Deep red sort of tones peeking up in the middle over the top of the Java ferns. To the side, I want to do sort of more pinky or yellowy hues, and then really green on the other side. I've got to make sure that I leave space on the corner there for the sponge filter, because as you can see, like for instance, this tank, we've got the sponge filter there. I can put stuff in front of it, that won't be a problem, just need to make sure I leave space for it. For the background plants, I have trimmed up some awesome Rotala Hatra. I think it's Hatra, or it could be Rotundifolia that's been grown close to the light. Either way, it's pinky red and it looks great. So I've also got a strip here of filter floss and a strip of plant weight, some scissors to cut it, and what I'm going to do is just make little bunches, if you like, of the Rotala, and what I can do is just sit on top of the substrate, and the roots can make their way then into the nutrient layer, and it's just better doing it this way, I find, in smaller tanks where it can be quite tough to get stuff planted without like then pushing up the plants next to it. I think, to be honest though, it might be a good idea though to fill it up with water first to do this. Then I can just see exactly how the plants are sitting. I might find that they're too tall, too short, and you can push them in deeper or whatever. Yeah, it's a good idea. And as always, I know lots of you will ask, this is a DIY thingy bob I made. It's just got a sort of clip attachment thing with some taps on it, ball valves just to control the flow. It's the inlet actually for one of my old filters. It just hooks over, and yeah, it just comes out nice and clear then. See, the water's perfectly clear. You can control the rate, you see, and it doesn't just chuck everything around everywhere. Once it fills up a little bit more, you can turn up the pace, but you know, there's no rush, is there? You never want to do that. I'm treading very carefully right now. I accidentally turned the tap up to full thinking I'd switched it off, and then in seconds it went there. Oh, it's so close. How am I going to get that out without spilling it? I'm going to need to siphon it, aren't I? Literally 1 second more and there's water everywhere. Thank my lucky stars. So yeah, making these plant bundles is actually really simple. You just got to take a group like that, maybe even less than that if you want to, probably cut that in half. Simple. Wrap a little bit of filter floss around it, like that, give it a rip. And then you want to just take a little bit of your plant weight, wrap it around a few times, take your scissors, snip it off, and there you go. Look how nice that looks, perfect. Right, there we go. Everything is looking so nice. It's time to get that filter fitted. So you can see from the side here, there's still tons of room for the filter and some more background plants as well if I want to at a later date. But yeah, filter in. And there we go. We're bubbling away. That should be super clear in no time at all as well. Right, there we go, we're all ready, completely clear. It's been running with the filter in it now for about an hour. Yeah, it cleared up in no time. So over here is the shrimp. We need to get them out, put them into a net and just put them in. I don't know what it is about this bowl, but shrimp seem to love it. So recently I had some blue jellies and sakura shrimp in here. I put them in a temporary whilst I was setting up a home for them, and they started breeding. Like, it's taken me ages for these full setups to get the shrimp to start breeding. I put them in a little bowl, do a water change maybe once a week with some of my tank water. Like, for instance, I just put some water from there into there, and they were just breeding straight away. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's get these out and put them in their new home. Oh yes, that went great, and they actually look really good on the brown, don't they? Oh, you can really see the black on them. If you've got them on a dark substrate like I had before, the black sort of faded into the... I don't know, they were just harder to see. They look great. I've got 20 there. That's how many I bought originally, so there hasn't been any breeding from these guys yet, but you know, there's still time. Oh yeah, but they look so good. They're going to look really good up on the shelf as well, aren't they? I'll get them up there soon. Just want to do some final shots of them here, because it looks really good with the background, doesn't it? Like, look at that for a shot, eh? Thumbnail. And some shrimp breeders have said to me that the reason I'm not getting much breeding action from either the crystals, or I didn't get them from these either, is because of the substrate. It's the tropical one. Maybe it's not very good for breeding with those kind of shrimp. It does make sense, because I've had crystal reds breeding completely before, loads and loads of breeding action going on when I've had them on a sand substrate. So, you know, this is not a very nutrient dense version of Aquasoil. This is the 88 Africana, and it's like a less nutrient rich one. So maybe that makes a difference. I don't really know. I'm not that clued up on the specifics of shrimp breeding. All I know is that I think they're awesome and they look good in my tank. Even if they don't breed, I really enjoy just having, say, 20 in a tank. They keep the tank nice and clean. They're a little focal point. They look great, don't they? And I love that red poking through. I was going to add a little bit more red, but I don't think we need to. It's just gonna overdo it otherwise, because we've got the redness of the Aquasoil, the redness of the background plant. I mean, I know it's brown, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not green. I think that looks great. So some of you might be worried about water parameter swings, and like I said, I can fill this up right now with clean fresh tap water, or almost fill. It's about 75% water change. I put some water conditioner in there. Everything will absolutely be fine. The water down here in the Southwest Dam is just so good. I mean, there's hardly any contaminants, chlorines, there's not a lot in there. So I'm still adding the dechlorinator just to be sure, because it's a big water change. And I'm absolutely certain that everything will be perfect for these shrimp. They're going to absolutely love it. Look at them. Oh, brilliant. How good does that look as well on the rack? Look at that. I'm quite liking this end one now, to be honest. Maybe I just need to trim up the shape of it. No, we'll do a proper scape as well. When I say rescape, for those of you that don't know, this is just basically pearlweed. It's just a weedy plant that grows really fast that I put in the tanks to help cyclone, get some greenery in there. But, you know, it's not a scape, is it? It looks nice because it's green, and green looks nice, doesn't it? But it's not a scape. But like, this is going to look so good there now, isn't it? Oh, I love it. I might clean this M1 up. I mean, the shrimp are breeding really well. I think it'll be fine just to clean down the glass now. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, and that's nearly overflowed. Oh, that was close. Ready, and stop. There we go. Absolutely perfect. And of course, like after any big water change, the stems are now doing whatever they want. And now I just need to hook the filter back up, and then we're done. Or fit the airline tube to the filter, yeah.